So this is a poem. So the poem is about like time and how people can appear at the wrong times. And honestly, yeah. Again, I'm really sorry if I stutter, if it's weird, if you guys don't like it. I did try my best. I'm not that good at poetry, but yeah. The clock is kind, but not to us. There are meetings that feel written in the stars, but scheduled by a distracted clock. You recognise them instantly, like hearing a melody you never learned, yet somehow know by heart. They arrive when your hands are full, when your pockets are stitched shut with old fears, old promises, old versions of yourself. They arrive when you are halfway across a bridge you already promised to cross. And suddenly, they are not a miracle, not a dream, not just a person standing in the exact shape of a space you didn't know you carried. You talk as if time is generous, you laugh as if days are endless, but underneath every word is the quiet ticking of everything that cannot change quickly enough. You learn their favourite quiet, they learn the storms you pretend are weather. You trade pieces of yourself, like travellers exchanging maps, while both know the routes will soon divide. It's strange how the rightness can ache, how something fitting perfectly can still not belong. You don't meet them in an empty season, you meet them in the middle, mid-healing, mid-leaving, mid-becoming, with half-built courage and unfinished goodbyes trailing behind you like loose threads. If timing were a person, you may argue with it. You might ask why recognition never waits for readiness, why clarity appears before the ground beneath it settles. But life does not apologise, it simply introduces people, like chapters arriving out of order. You become a moment in each other's stories, not the beginning, not the ending, but the page that makes the rest of the book feel different. And maybe that is the quiet purpose of The Wrong Time, because they do not stay, yet they remain, not as regret, but as evidence. Evidence that connection is real, that understanding exists, that somewhere in the wide, unplanned world, someone recognised you without instruction. You part with care, like returning a borrowed light, neither of you empty, neither of you whole. There is no dramatic ending, just a soft awareness. If life had shifted a little sooner, if courage had grown a little faster, if circumstances had blinked once differently, but if is a house no one lives in. So if you carry them forward, not as a loss, but as alignment, glimpse briefly through moving glass. Years later, you may meet again, or never. But something remains recalibrated. You notice kindness sooner, you speak truth earlier, you recognise the shape of belonging when it quietly approaches. Because the right people do not always arrive to stay. Sometimes they arrive to show you that staying is possible, and time, that stubborn, wandering companion, continues on, placing hearts in neighbouring moments that almost touch. Almost. Yet there is a beauty in even that, in knowing that somewhere in the vast unfolding, paths crossed exactly where they could, not where they should. And though the season was brief, and though the hour was flawed, the meeting was real. Not everything meant for you is meant to keep you. And some people are not destinations, they're directions. And some connections are not homes, they are windows. And some of the most important arrivals are the ones that teach you how deeply you are capable of recognising what is right, even when you cannot hold it. So, when the memory returns, don't call it mistake, call it timing, learning your name. Call it proof that somewhere in beyond readiness and circumstance that your life touched another in a way that mattered. And sometimes that is enough. Thank you.